How's it going, everyone? We are going to be looking at the PSN's holiday sale in this video, and we are looking at games under the price of $3, so once again, some dirt cheap games for you to check out. Now, just like our under $2 video, I tried to include some games that, you know, are a little bit more under the radar that look interesting to me that I personally have yet to play, so keep that in mind. It seems like the consensus is that you guys would prefer me to mention those games that I just find look pretty cool, that are super cheap, that even if I haven't played them, they're new games to mention. So I'll keep doing that, and as I do these videos, I am trying to widen my gaming palette, and as I'll reiterate, I am one man. It is hard to play every game under the sun, especially with a lot of games coming out. I have a list of games I want to replay, play through, and then you throw in like all these indie games, and it's just, you know, imagine if you're in my shoes. It's a little bit difficult, and I have the greatest gig in the world, but at the same time, that doesn't eliminate the fact that time is a finite resource. So with that being said, let's get right into it, and let's once again like just run through the EA games. Dragon Age Inquisition Deluxe Edition is 85% off for $2.99. Excellent deal. I know Inquisition, when it came out, I don't want to say it had a mixed reception, but there were people that weren't as crazy about it as some other people. Some people thought so highly of it that it was, you know, their frontrunner for Game of the Year in 2014. I thought it was a damn good RPG. Narratively good. Visually, I thought it was quite good. Even being a decade old, I feel like this game still looks quite good. With the Deluxe Edition, you get a lot of bonus content, and I would say this is BioWare's last truly great game. Like, BioWare did a good job with Inquisition, and I thought, you know, it was a game that wasn't at the standard of some of the other BioWare titles, like the premier BioWare games, like a Mass Effect 2, but it was still pretty damn good. And I would say for $2.99, it's a really good price. Burnout Paradise Remastered, 85% off for $2.99. I was actually playing this again not too long ago, maybe like a month ago, and man, Burnout Paradise is such a great time. I'm a sucker for open world arcade racers like Forza Horizon, Burnout Paradise. These games are my cup of tea. As far as games that you can kind of mentally uncheck and you can just enjoy playing and not take too seriously, I put Burnout Paradise and games like Forza Horizon in the category of like the podcast games or the YouTube video games where you can watch a YouTube video, you can listen to a podcast and play a game at the same time, and you don't feel like you're losing a lot. Like, I'm not going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth while listening to a podcast because that game is narrative, folks, unless, you know, I'm doing some of the mundane side content, but you get the idea. Burnout Paradise, on the other hand, Forza Horizon, games like that, I could totally do something like that. Now, Burnout Paradise, to be fair, does have an absolutely stellar soundtrack. You got like My Curse by Killswitch Engage in there. There's a song from the band that did like the Dragon's Dogma theme song just randomly in Burnout Paradise. I don't even know why, but it's a great song. It's called Friction. Awesome song. But yeah, it's got a lot of great tracks, and Collapse by Sausen, that's a sleeper. That's a sleeper banger. There's a lot of licensed music, and a lot of the alt rock is right up my alley. So $2.99 for Burnout Paradise, great deal there, definitely worthwhile. And as far as the game itself goes, good open world racer, decent amount of content. It is pretty dated, so keep that in mind, but you know, it is what it is as far as that's concerned. Need for Speed Heat, $2.99 on this as well. Need for Speed Heat is a solid Need for Speed game. I think this was the last Need for Speed game, and not that it came out that long ago, but I feel like this had a mostly unanimous reception as far as people enjoying the game. I actually see a lot of my buddies just like out of nowhere be playing Need for Speed Heat, and I think it's a product of this game just got so cheap. Like, it's going for $2.99 and $3.49 for the Deluxe Edition and so on and so forth, that a lot of people, I guess, checked it out and just had a really good time. Arcade racer here as well, great visuals and a solid soundtrack on top of that. So Heat, I would also say, much like Burnout Paradise, in that category of podcast YouTube video games. Good stuff there. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 85% off for $2.99. Man, you guys remember when Star Wars Battlefront was initially revealed and the hype and anticipation around it was absolutely staggering? They never really lived up to that with this Battlefront, you know, re-release or so on and so forth. You know, it's not a remake of Battlefront 2, but, you know, at this price point, I think it's a decent price. You know, it's not like it's getting regular updates or anything like that, which is a little bit of a bummer, but what can you do? For $2.99, not a bad pickup there. Firewatch, 85% off for $2.99. Man, do I love this game, and I try to go to bat for this game whenever I get the opportunity to. It is a narrative-driven title, very much like an atmospheric walking sim-style game. It doesn't have a emphasis on high-octane action gameplay or anything like that, but man, narratively, this game, I think, is done really, really well, and overall, yes, the ending is not the best, and for a narrative-driven game, when you're talking about an ending that can be deemed not to be satisfying, that is a huge blunder. That's a huge, huge blunder, but for the 5 to 6 hours that you're going to spend with Firewatch, and yes, it's a fairly short game, but you're spending $3 on it, I definitely think it's a worthwhile experience. Art style is fantastic, and again, as far as the length goes, sometimes you need these shorter games to break up the 80-hour open world title. So yeah, not a bad pickup there. Speaking of open world games, Just Cause 3, 85% off for $2.99. I don't know if you're gonna spend 80 hours on Just Cause 3, probably not, but another game that I would put this in the category of the podcast and YouTube video style game, or watching a television show and playing a game where you don't have to pay attention too much to the story and you can just enjoy the mayhem the open world is going to offer. Just Cause 3 is exactly that, because you are not going to be getting emotionally invested into the story of one Rico Rodriguez. No, you are going into this game to cause some mayhem, and mayhem will be caused in Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 was actually a technical disaster when it came out back in December of 2015, but at this point, it's a solid open world action title, and for $3, it's a good buy. You know, it would be nice to get a PS5 upgrade, but what can you do? These things, like, this is not the biggest game in the world on the PS4. I don't think it's gonna get a PS5 upgrade, but it would be pretty damn great. And you know, I say it won't get a PS5 upgrade, but how many like random games do we just see get remastered like out of nowhere? Like, did anybody think like Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning was gonna ever get remastered? Like, I could see Just Cause 3 randomly. Square Enix feels like they need to print some money. Let's do a Just Cause 3 remaster on a PS6 or something like that. I don't know if Square Enix still has the rights to Just Cause. I believe they do, but don't quote me on that. Dead Island Definitive Edition, 85% off for $2.99. Enjoyable zombie experience here. It's absolutely dated, so keep that in mind. You do have all the DLC included in the game as well. Like, I enjoyed Dead Island back in the day. Did I think it was blow away? No, but I thought it was a solid zombie experience. And for $3, not a bad deal. XCOM 2, 95% off for $3. This is the base game, so keep that in mind. I loved XCOM 2. I think it's a great game. It absolutely has some technical shortcomings, which is a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, as far as a game is concerned, I think it's really, really well done, and I think you'll end up really enjoying it. Challenging gameplay, but incredibly rewarding as well. Ideally, I would recommend you to wait for the XCOM 2 collection to go on sale, which it's not on sale right now. That just includes the expansion, DLC content, that I do think is worthwhile. So, you know, your mileage may vary as whether or not you want to wait for that to go on sale and get all the content, or you're okay with the base game. Next up, we got TimeSplitters and TimeSplitters 2. I recommended Homefront Revolution, or mentioned it, because there's a gimmick to play TimeSplitters 2 through Homefront Revolution. Nevertheless, you just have TimeSplitters 1 and 2 here, $2.49 a pop, throwback shooters from the PS2 era. These games are absolutely beloved. They're a renowned first-person shooter series that plunges players into an epic battle against the malevolent TimeSplitters, a race dwelling outside of time and space, awakened from an ancient sleep. These entities tear through time's fabric to erase humanity from history. Players must unite against the common enemy or face a grim future under their shadow. So both titles on sale, $2.49 a pop there. Then we have Fobia St. Dinfna Hotel. Very positive reception on this one. A survival horror indie title. Explore a descendant hotel across different timelines and uncover the dark history and fanatical cult and your role in their plans. Again, on Steam, it's got 1,060 reviews, 87% positive. Pretty solid reception. If you're into horror games, that might be one worthwhile to check out. The game notes: explore a grand hotel, survive the horrors, unravel the mystery, look to the past and the future. And yeah, you can get that for $2.99. They do have a PS4 version that is also available on sale for $2.99, so make sure you pick up the PS5 version. Broforce, $2.99 on this. If you are a Plus subscriber, you will get it on sale for $1.49, which is an awesome, awesome price. Great pixel graphics, visual style, and action-packed side-scrolling run-and-gun ode to freedom, putting you in control of an underfunded, overpowered paramilitary organization dealing exclusively in excessive force. I remember this game got a lot of attention when it came out initially. 47,000 Steam reviews, and 97% of those reviews are positive, and 83 on Metacritic as well. For $1.49, another title to check out there. Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition, $2.49. If you want a relaxing, like, serene game to play look no further than Spirit of the North. I think this game is incredibly well done from a visual standpoint, not super lengthy whatsoever. It is more tailored for the exploration side of things, but I just think the game is incredibly compelling in that regard. It was done very, very well and not super lengthy. And by the way, Spirit of the North is getting a sequel. Spirit of the North 2 is in development right now. I don't know when that's scheduled to come out, but should be out in the future. So there you go with that. Next up, we got Totally Reliable Delivery Service. This is a ragdoll physics game, and it is a simulation about terrible package delivery couriers work together using odd machinery, using gadgets, and the wonders of physics to reliably deliver packages to their destination. Wacky game here, one to not take too seriously, but 1,200 reviews on Steam, 83% positive, and as far as Metacritic goes, a 64 on there, so not as well received on Metacritic, but yeah, you can check that out for $2.99. Next up, we got Risk of Rain, an absolutely beloved game, and quite a bit different than Risk of Rain 2 from a presentation standpoint if you did play Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain is still an incredibly enjoyable game, and it is a game that you can sink quite a lot of time into, so keep that in mind as well. An action platform with roguelike elements with permanent death as a primary feature. Players will have to play their best to get as far as possible, fight on a mysterious planet with randomly spawning enemies and bosses. You can play alone or with a couple friends. $2.49 on that. And then lastly, gotta give a shout to Hotline Miami 2, wrong number. I mean, Hotline Miami is always a great time. Throwback, retro, aesthetic, action experience, and over-the-top gameplay, action-heavy, and for $2.99, a great pickup here. Soundtrack is fantastic in Hotline Miami as well, so definitely give it a look as far as that's concerned. So that's gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of deals under the price of $3. Go check all of those out. Links in the description box below. As always, thank you for watching. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.